Today our topic is the nature of free will. Do we have it? This is a question that has puzzled humans for centuries. Philosophers, scientists, and thinkers have debated whether we truly have the ability to make our own choices, or if our lives are determined by forces beyond our control. Let's explore this idea and see if we can find some clarity. First, let's define what free will means. Free will is the idea that we can make choices that are not determined by outside forces. It means we have control over our actions and decisions. But is this really true? Some people believe that everything in life is predetermined. They think that all our choices are influenced by factors like our genes, our environment, or even fate. This view is called determinism. If determinism is true, then free will might be an illusion. We might think we are making choices, but in reality, those choices are already set by things we cannot control. On the other hand, some people believe in free will. They argue that we have the power to make decisions that shape our lives. They say that even if outside factors influence us, we still have the ability to choose how we respond. This belief gives us a sense of responsibility and control over our lives. So, which is it? Do we have free will, or is everything predetermined? Let's look at some arguments for both sides. One argument for determinism is based on science. Scientists have discovered that the universe operates according to laws of physics. These laws govern everything, from the movement of planets to the behavior of atoms. If everything in the universe follows these laws, then our brains, which are made of atoms, must also follow them. This means that our thoughts and decisions could be the result of chemical reactions in our brains, not free will. Another argument for determinism comes from psychology. Our behavior is influenced by our upbringing, our experiences, and our environment. For example, if you grew up in a family that values education, you might be more likely to pursue higher education. If you grew up in a different environment, you might make different choices. This suggests that our choices are shaped by factors outside of our control. But what about free will? Those who believe in free will argue that even if outside factors influence us, we still have the ability to make choices. They say that we are not just robots following a program. We can reflect on our actions, consider different options, and make decisions based on our values and desires. This ability to think and choose is what makes us human. Another argument for free will is moral responsibility. If we do not have free will, then how can we be held responsible for our actions? If everything is determined by outside forces, then it would not be fair to punish someone for a crime they could not control. But in society, we do hold people accountable for their actions. This suggests that we believe in free will, at least to some extent. So, where does this leave us? Is free will real, or is it an illusion? Some philosophers take a middle ground. They believe in something called compatibilism. Compatibilism is the idea that free will and determinism can coexist. According to this view, we can have free will even if our choices are influenced by outside factors. The key is that we are able to act according to our desires and intentions, even if those desires are shaped by our environment or biology. For example, imagine you are choosing between two job offers. One job offers higher pay, but the other job is more aligned with your passions. If you choose the job that aligns with your passions, you are acting according to your desires. Even if those desires are influenced by your upbringing or personality, you are still making a choice based on what you value. This is free will, even if it is influenced by determinism. Now let's think about how this applies to our daily lives. Whether or not we have free will, the belief in free will can be empowering. If we believe that we have control over our choices, we are more likely to take responsibility for our actions and strive to improve ourselves. This belief can motivate us to work hard, make positive changes, and pursue our goals. On the other hand, if we believe that everything is predetermined, we might feel like we have no control over our lives. This can lead to a sense of helplessness or resignation. But even if determinism is true, we can still choose how we respond to it. We can choose to focus on the things we can control, like our attitude and our efforts, rather than worrying about the things we cannot change. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. This idea is closely related to the concept of free will. Even if our choices are influenced by outside factors, we still have the power to choose our attitude and our actions. For example, imagine you are stuck in traffic. You cannot control the traffic, but you can control how you react to it. You can choose to get frustrated and stressed, or you can choose to stay calm and use the time to listen to music or reflect on your day. This is an example of how we can exercise free will, even in situations that are beyond our control. So, what can we learn from all this? The nature of free will is complex, and there are strong arguments on both sides. But whether or not we have free will, the belief in our ability to make choices can have a powerful impact on our lives. It can give us a sense of purpose, responsibility, and control. Even if our choices are influenced by outside factors, we can still strive to make decisions that align with our values and goals. In the end, the question of free will might not have a clear answer. But perhaps the more important question is how we choose to live our lives. Do we take responsibility for our actions and strive to make positive choices? Or do we let outside forces dictate our path? The choice is ours. Whether or not free will exists, we can choose to live with intention, purpose, and resilience. This is the essence of a meaningful life. So, as you go about your day, remember that you have the power to shape your thoughts, your actions, and your future. Even if the nature of free will is uncertain, the way you choose to live your life is ultimately up to you.